What is your profession? Guys, welcome to the channel, and in this case, looking into the 5 most important, most developed professions that you can have in Starfield. Now, this is not written in stone or anything like that, but clearly based on the Starfield Direct that you're seeing now on the screen, there's clearly 5 main professions that you can go for in Starfield, and these are quite nice. These are some of the professions that most of us would be mostly interested. There's other things as well, especially checking out those backgrounds. There's other things you could definitely do, but let's go through some of the more important ones. I want to start with the one that I'm mostly interested in, which is Explorer, right? Being an explorer in Starfield seems to me, at least, to be one of the things that I definitely want to go and check out. And for that, you have a specific background, as you see here. The Explorer, they said Explorer is a lost art. You didn't listen, as a major faction argues over the space they desperately try to control. You're busy uncovering the wonders of the settled systems. And this is probably strongly linked to the main story, to the main quest. But besides that, you clearly can have a career as an explorer, right? So here you have your starting skills. If you happen to pick this one as your background, lasers, so you basically use lasers better. Personal lasers are in widespread use across settled systems. Specialized training can greatly increase. So you basically start with a few more points on laser weapons, not unlike Fallout. This one is the one that caught my attention. Astrodynamics, advanced technology is one thing, but it takes skill, patience, and a little bit of love to coax even more capacity out of a ship's grav drive. So you're going to be able to go even further with 1,000 planets. And again, keep in mind, we talked about before how you only have life in 10%. That doesn't matter. These are still planets and moons that need to be explored, need to be surveyed. Which brings me to the last one, surveying. Humanity now has access to untold alien worlds and the ability to decipher all the data while on the ground has become an essential skill set. So you'll go for this, and I just cannot avoid mentioning that this is one of the things that so many of us have been dreaming about, especially those of us that have played Star Citizen, which they always toy with the idea of one day going exploring different planets, different worlds, and surveying them. Well, here you will actually have this as a profession, as a career path. You will be exploring and surveying planets. Again, strongly borrowing from No Man's Sky, but I'm more than okay with that, especially when it's done adequately by Bethesda, having a past experience with games such as Skyrim. So you just know that the RPG element, the surveying will be a lot more in depth and probably a lot more interesting than just going for the billion planets that you have in No Man's Sky. Here it's a little bit more tailored, a little bit more interesting, but still with 1,000 planets, man, you have a lot of exploring and surveying to do. Going for the next one, besides Explorer, maybe the one that I'd be mostly interested in would be Bounty Hunter. And again, bounty hunting, combat on the legal side, you have again a dedicated bounty hunting background. Now, I don't think you get to see all that much from this one. It's just cut off a little bit short from that, but it's not all that difficult to assume what this involves. I will just go out and say it probably has some weapons skill, some long guns or ballistic weapons of some kind of ship combat. Probably it would make sense. So it's gonna be a little bit on that side of things, having better starting in your personal weapons and your ship weapons, and maybe flying or astrodynamics. Maybe not a prerequisite, but should be around those. Personal weapons and ship weapons are my best bet, as those two skills would definitely be there in your bounty hunter background. And this can be escalated, meaning you can start with low paying bounties and go up from there, and involving ship combat and just hunting. Again, one of those things that unfortunately we don't have in Star Citizen, which is using those planetary surfaces. Just imagine hunting someone that is in a in a building, in the surface of a planet, or just going about his way in the surface of that moon or that planet, or just going after someone in a ship. Will you be capturing him alive and bringing him back like a bounty hunter in Star Wars? You're just freezing him or capturing him or just rendering him unconscious. I have no idea. That would be pretty cool, but just the opportunity of going across so many different planets and moons and having the option of extending that, because it's a simple matter of escalating it to better paying bounties, that is going to be keeping you pretty entertained. And it's probably going to be a very profitable game path. Let's move to the next one. Number 3, I want to go with hauling. And again, long hauler is a dedicated background. Here you see that they're probably looking into that Elite Dangerous or Star Citizen approach to things of hauling large quantities of goods. And here you actually have it when they look at your ships. All of the different ships that you have, they do have a specific cargo capacity. That's going to be quite interesting. And of course, the ability of customizing your ships and so and so. But besides that, what you have here is and it's easily something that you could have missed, which is not only having ships and a specific cargo capacity for each of those ships, which you see detailed here, cargo capacity. Okay, so this is you being that space trucker, right? The idea of you getting on your ship and just hauling cargo. Is it going to be something you're going to be attaching to your ship, to the sides? Could be just moving inventory or whatnot. Yeah, not exactly how that's going to work, but one of the things that's very interesting, you will have shielded capacity. Out of this cargo capacity, some of that will be shielded, and that means contraband. That means running on the wrong side of the law with your cargo and you being some space smuggler of some kind. That is awesome. The ability to be a space smuggler, someone that will have your little your little business there running on the side. That is, and how profitable will it be compared to? I assume that typically your if you're gonna be more of a long hauler mixed with what is it called, like a gangster, like a criminal. Well, that's probably gonna be more financially better rewarded financially than just running normal cargo. So you could have like a dedicated ship specializing more on that illegal cargo that you're running in that shielded inventory. Moving on to the next one, and that's going to be very strongly linked to this, which is pirating, being a pirate in space. This is clearly something that you will be able to fully explore in Starfield. Not only do you have, again, a dedicated background, it's not called pirating, it is called, what is that? Okay, yeah, so you're more of a gangster, right? The gangster, what is that really entitling? Let me see if they actually show a little bit of that in terms of what's actually a gangster. I assume some kind of weapon knowledge would make perfect sense. Yeah, some kind of weapon, some kind. Yeah, it doesn't actually go into the gangster. Unfortunately, it doesn't start there. But I assume flying ships, weapons, and some some kind of thieving skills, like lock picking or hacking, which they do show as one of the skills you can develop. So a little bit of a mix on that, but definitely being a pirate in space is gonna be one of the main career paths you can have. If you can mix this a little bit with a cargo hauling, illegal stuff, cargo running contraband, but you could also join a specific faction, which is, again, something that they definitely have as... So yeah, lots of the exploration aspect, but you could definitely join the pirate faction. That it means you're actively working as a pirate, and this goes besides the main quest, right? Some of those main quests, I think that the main quest thing is a lot more strongly linked to the exploration thing, some of the bounty hunting thing, but probably mostly exploration. But it's definitely gonna be heavy on the illegal side of things in terms of pirating and going about your way, even stealing, maybe even stealing cargo, maybe even stealing, well, not maybe, this is for sure, you will be able, this has been confirmed, you will be able to just, take over those ships and make those your own and sell those ships that you have stolen, right? There's probably going to be a fee involved in terms of registering and so on. But yeah, you will be able to shut down that ship and go into it and steal it, make it your own, which is something I'm really looking forward to. Finally, last one, maybe one of those that's not all that clear, which is in terms of mining. How does it work? A little bit of that No Man's Sky thing of hand mining, probably, but maybe in terms of proper mining, if you want to have a dedicated mining outposts and a proper mining setup, right? You're working here, you're working on this that you see there, right? You're gonna be setting up your mining rigs and letting those make money for you, which I'm more than happy. I mean, yeah, sure, the mining prospector in Star Citizen is fine for like 10 minutes, and you can stretch that for a few weeks if you're very dedicated to that. But it gets old, man. And of course, being Star Citizen, it has to be linked to ship sales, selling a dedicated ship for that. I'm more happy having a mining operation in a dedicated planet and being like the guy that has the oil rigs or the mining rigs, all of those making money for me while I go do some other stuff, right? Is there gonna be like ship mining or shooting with your ship, a No Man's Sky type? It could be. Wouldn't be surprised if it is there, because it's borrowing definitely a lot from that. But I'm more than okay with having your mining operation, and every once in a while having those little cargo boxes attached and making a run to sell some of those minerals or resources that you've acquired. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be all for now. I think those 5 are the main, most solid and more evolved career paths that you have. These are pretty nice, and the idea of being able to fully explore all of these and make it like a long, especially with actual persistence, right? Actual progression, and having a home or several, having different bases, and the ability of making this something that you can benefit from, long term, permanently, growing your mining operation or your pirating operation with bases in different moons and maybe a little bit more well hitting. All of this stuff is very, very interesting, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. Guys, it's gonna be all for now. As always, do subscribe to the channel. Slowly but steadily growing. That subscription would definitely be appreciated. Okay, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. What are you looking forward to? Would you want to be a pirate, a miner, a homesteader, which is one of the potential possible backgrounds there? Just going exploring and just getting into getting into trouble and finding your way out of that. See you on the next video, guys. Take care.